Now what is going on, my Tiberious tribe? Today we have this primary arms SLX 1:6 second focal plane optic that we are going to take a look at. This particular one is made for 300 blackout and 7.62 by 39. This optic has lived on the CMMG Mutant for the past few years. It has been tossed in and out of range bags a million times. It has gone to dozens of different shows. It has been on dozens of different airplanes to the range a million times, and all kidding aside, it has thousands and thousands of rounds on it, and I have really grown to like this optic, especially for the sub $300 price point. Starting at the back here, like most low power variable optics, it does have a diopter on the back. If you don't know, a diopter is kind of like someone who doesn't have great vision and you put a pair of glasses on and everything becomes crisp and clear. That's kind of what a diopter does. You spin the ring back and forth, so the reticle is very crisp and clear for your eyesight. Eye relief on this optic is a very respectable 3.5 inches. Now that's at one-time magnification. As you increase it up to 6, you do lose a little bit of that, but still 3.5 inches is very, very good, again, especially for an optic that costs less than $300. Now, before we get into the particular reticle here, I want you to keep in mind two things. One, the ranging features only work at 6 times magnification. It is a second focal plane optic, and that's how all of them are. Those ranging features only work at the max magnification. 2, the bullet drop compensator information I'm going to give you is only for shooting supersonics. If you're shooting subsonic ammo, the bullet drop compensator does change slightly. No big deal. It's on the Primary Arms website. Just know if you're shooting subs or super, your holds do change. Starting off at the top here, we have an awesome chevron tip. This way you can get very, very precise shots using that tip of that chevron. And at the same time, you could just put the entire chevron on somebody's chest close up if you need to and get very, very quick hits on target. The tip of the chevron is going to be used for a 50 to 200 yard zero. And then the inside point, inside of the chevron, is going to be a holdover for 250 yards. The next line down is going to be 300 yards. Then as you see here, there's 400, 500, and even a 600 yard holdover. These smaller dots that you see right here are for a 5 mile-an-hour wind hold. These small stadia lines can also be used for ranging a target, assuming the target is either prone or standing. You just put those lines on somebody's shoulder, from shoulder to shoulder. If it lines up from one shoulder to the other, that is going to be the distance that they are away from you, roughly. The second ranging option is over here to the right. You put a target's feet at the bottom line, and wherever their head lines up, whether it be at 600, 500, or 400 yards, that is a rough estimate of how far away they are. Again, it's a rough estimate, and that is all assuming they are around 5'10". Finally, the two larger dots that you see here are going to be a holdover for a man running 8.6 miles per hour, which, once again, I am told is the average speed of a man running with a rifle. As far as the magnification adjustment, I do think it is a little tiny bit on the stiff side. It's not terrible, it's not bad, but I think it's a little bit stiff. I think Primary Arms could make it slightly easier and would have no fear of it being bumped or moved at all, but it's a tiny bit stiff for my liking. Again, that is something I do understand, that's personal preference. You do have a little speed knob, ridge, whatever you guys choose to call them. You do have that on there that helps a little bit, and there's plenty of aftermarket accessories you can get, but I wish it was just a little bit easier. As far as your elevation and your windage adjustments, they are both capped, as you can see. The top one here does have a spot for a spare battery, if you care. Each click is going to be a half MOA adjustment per click. And I'm happy to say they are very tactile and extremely audible. So let's see if you guys can hear this. Very, very audible, very, very tactile. Now, as far as the illumination dial, I'll show you in a second, that is back on the other side. It goes all the way up to 11, and you, just like any other low power variable optic, you just spin it back and forth. I don't think it's quite daylight bright. I think it's extremely close, and I know some people have said, yes, it is daylight bright. I think it's close, but not quite there on extremely sunny days. To me, again, it doesn't really matter. Like most low power variable optics, it does have an etched reticle. I'm only going to use that illumination under low light conditions. You may be a little different, but that etched reticle, I prefer it without the illumination unless it's under low light conditions. Your battery compartment is right next to the illumination dial. You spin that off and it takes a very standard CR2032, which is very, very easy to find. Taking a look at the dimensions and the weight, the optic is 10 inches from one end to the other. It weighs 16.9 ounces. The field of view on 1x magnification is 110 feet. When you go up to 6x magnification, it is still a very respectable 19 feet. Again, keep in mind, your MSRP is under $300. So this is going to be one of the best do-it-all type of budget optics that I've ever tested. Let me read the last few really quick specs off my sheet here. It does come with the flip-up covers if you care. Fog-proof, waterproof, shock-proof. Obviously they make these for 556 as well as the 300 blackout version we have here. The body is 6063 aluminum. It is hard-coat anodized, and the tubes are 30mm tubes, so finding them out is going to be very, very easy for this optic. Pros. Again, I've said it a few times, the price and the value and the durability for what you get is going to be the biggest pro. These optics have a very, very good reputation of being very, very durable and sub $300, which is just fantastic. I love the lifetime warranty that Primary Arms offers with these. I love the etched reticle, so you don't have to worry about the battery dying. I know pretty much all low power variable optics have that, but it is always nice to have the etched reticle and not have to worry about battery life. Eye relief is very, very good. I'm a big fan of the eye relief. And the reticle, the ACSS reticle is fantastic. All of them are very easy to use, but very, very feature packed in a very, very easy way of using them. So I like them. As far as cons, I only have one. It's going to be that magnification adjustment. Again, it's personal preference, so if you have one of these and you don't mind it, that's fine, no big deal. I think it's a little bit stiff. I think Primary Arms could make it a little bit easier and still not worry about it getting bumped or moved. Just my opinion. Either way, I think this optic is good to go. As far as uses, it's going to be good for pretty much any type of defense, especially if you ever might need to reach out a little bit further than what you're capable of doing with a red dot or any non-magnified optics. This would fit the role very, very well. So whether that be home defense or property defense or on duty, competitions, this would definitely be a great competition optic as well. Pretty much anytime you want a 1-to-6 optics, a good do-it-all type of optic, and you're on a budget, I would definitely consider the Primary Arms. At less than $300, it's kind of a steal. Before you guys go, let me thank my boss one more time. He lent us this Mutant rifle for review, which I've already done a review on, and this Primary Arms 1-to-6, which is very, very nice of him, so I could show it to you guys. If you guys are looking to support the channel, there is many, many ways you can do so. Just dropping a quick like or a quick comment really, really helps me out more than you can even imagine. If you want to see what reviews are coming up next, please consider subscribing to my channel. This way you will hopefully get notified when I come out with new videos. We do have 3 channel sponsors now. First one is M2 Tactical Solutions, makes the best Kydex gear in the game. Holling Beard Company makes some of the best beard care products in the game. And I'm sure you know Breakthrough Clean. They make some of the best gun cleaning and lubricant products in the game. Discount code for all 3 of them is Tiberious, and it will save you between 10 and 20%. One more time, let me thank you guys for watching, and I will see you next time. Peace.